Healing was the warm-up. This is the main fucking event. Welcome to Go Regulate Yourself, the unapologetic, unfiltered love letter you didn't know you needed. This is where mental health meets real life, where growth gets gritty, and where we stop pretending healing makes us saints. Think of it like therapy with tequila shots and a side of tough love. In this space, we're learning how to take responsibility for our shit, face the chaos of life, and become the best version of who we are. So if you're ready for your weekly "what the fuck am I doing" moment, let's dive in. Hello, Red Babes, and welcome back to another episode on the Go Regulate Yourself podcast. My name is Brianne, I am your host, and today we are chatting about how to step into your power. Now, today's conversation was sparked by a really radical experience that I had this past weekend that opened my eyes to how I have been holding myself back and maybe not stepping as fully into my power as I thought that I have been this entire time. And so we're going to chat about what exactly that looks like, what the consequences of growth are, how that can impede us actually making changes and moving in the direction that we want to go, and why it is important to commit to the vision if you actually want to create results for yourself in your life. So without further ado, let's dive into all of it. So recently, I have been very busy in my life. If you guys have been following on social media or popping here on the podcast, you probably know that I am in the midst of planning the first live event for the podcast here in Edmonton, Alberta this September called Go Regulate Yourself Live. And it is an opportunity for me to interview 4 speakers live on stage in front of an audience of hundreds and potentially way more as we figure out the virtual recording pieces to make this available to everybody who isn't local to this area. And so I've been busy crossing things off my to-do list, checking the boxes, doing all the things to get ready for this event. And I've noticed this kind of feeling of anxiety, anxiousness, of stress and overwhelm in relation to the event. Not because the event itself doesn't feel like it's right for me, but rather almost like this fear and procrastination has taken the wheel. I've been paralyzed in terms of what this event could do and could create because of it. And it's somehow prevented me from taking the necessary steps for a really long time. So this past weekend, I got to take out one of my little sisters for her 21st birthday. And I had a whole day planned. We went and did a bunch of girly things. It was a total surprise to her. We went to a bunch of different stops, did some really cool things, and it was just a really beautiful day out. I had such a good time. And our last stop for the day was at Clarity here in Edmonton, which is like, for anybody who doesn't know that location, it's spelled Claritea. So it's like a place that you can go have afternoon tea, but you can also get some readings done by different experts in different modalities, from past life readings to tarot readings, human design, astrology, you name it. So I took my little sister here. She's never done anything formal like this in person. She chose to do a past life analysis, and I wanted to do a tarot reading because I had a question burning in my soul and my heart in regards to this event that I knew that I needed to get an answer towards. And while there was some awesome insights in regards to every area of my life, what I really walked away from this understanding from a totally different perspective was the concept of what we are exploring here today on the podcast. So my question for the guy that was running the session was, how do I take advantage of this event and really leverage it for the growth of the podcast and this business that I'm running? How do I take this event and make it mean something significantly without getting so attached to it that I am burning myself out and maybe digging myself into a hole that I can't get out of? I want to do this in the most easy, effortless way. So how do I really have this impact go far? And so we explored a bunch of different things. And during this session, he explored a concept with me that has just really rocked my world and is something that I know is going to change the game for you. So what we were discussing is the fact that I am currently at crossroads in my business and my life. And those crossroads are kind of unexpected to me and a little bit jolting to my system because I thought that I had already moved past this. I thought that I had already healed this, that I was already committed to my vision, that I was creating the things that I wanted to create and going in the direction that I wanted to go without even realizing that this was a problem that I was struggling with. And so the crossroads that I'm at right now is having one foot in the direction of what I want to create for myself in my life, this podcast, this platform, what I want my voice to offer to the world, both in verbal and written format. And then my other foot right now is very firmly planted in the past. Something that I haven't actually physically picked up and moved, started walking in the direction of my vision, because I'm still latched into, stepping into the direction of what once was. And I've had this be said to me in many different ways. I've explored this myself in my own meditation and mindfulness practices, journaling, you name it. And I also used to teach this concept for a really long time. So I thought that I had a good handle on what transitions meant for us in our lives and the importance of really going all in and believing in yourself, letting go of those old limiting beliefs and fears. I really thought that I had a good handle on this, you guys. Turns out I sure as hell did not, okay? I have 100% been stuck at crossroads for the last 3 years since the crash of my last company and everything that happened with it, not actually committing myself to this direction moving forward. And the line that this guy said in our session is what actually has stuck with me the deepest out of all of this. And what he specifically said was, "Are you ready to be powerful?" Because what I had said to him during the session was that I really want this podcast to be a massive ripple effect on the world. I want to have a huge splash, make a big impact. I want this to be a radical point of change for a lot of people in the world. I want it to be influential. And so as he's flipping over the cards, one of the main cards we were talking about during this was called the Magician. He referred to the fact that the magician has the power to manifest and to create whatever it is that they want. But we have to recognize where we are limiting that power, because power can be used for good or bad. We can use our voice and our influence for good reasons or for bad reasons. And so what that means is with great power comes great responsibility, that we have to ensure that we are doing right by people, doing right by the platforms that we are using, doing right by what it is that we are creating in this world. And as a result, that means that there are consequences to being in that position of influence, being in that position of power. And we have to recognize that every single time we make a choice, we grow, we use our voice, we continue to be influential, we are going to have a consequence that we face as a result. So for me, in my life, standing at crossroads right now, having one foot pointed in the direction of wanting to be powerful, wanting to be influential, wanting this podcast to have a massive ripple effect on the world. And at the same time, having a foot firmly planted in the past, the old way of being, where I was able to be quiet, where I was able to hide my true opinions, where I was able to people please and to care about the judgments and the opinions of others, when I shrunk myself, when I dimmed myself, when I hid. I cannot continue to stand here with one foot planted in both directions. Because first of all, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to continue to be stuck right here at crossroads for the rest of my life if I don't make a decision. I can't be influential and also be rooted in the past. I can't be rooted in the past and also be influential. There has to be a decision that is made. There has to be a commitment to the vision, and me physically picking that foot up from what was, turning around, putting both feet in the direction of the vision that I'm creating and walking in that direction. There has to be a choice. And so when this was said to me in this way, instantly what I thought in my mind is, holy fuck, I really have been paralyzed, procrastinating, letting myself shrink in so many capacities because I wasn't ready to fully commit to this vision. I wasn't ready to be powerful. I wasn't ready to have the consequences that came along with this growth. But I think that I am now finally ready. Now that I see it, now that I see what I've been doing for 3 years, although things have improved and the voice has changed and things have grown exponentially over this time, there still is a very large piece of me that has been white knuckling and holding on to that other path. And I have to decide right now in this moment to release that, to let it go, and to actually step into and embrace my power. Now, this is very common, I think, for so many of us, because when we talk about being at crossroads, there's a really big significance here, right? Because every stage of growth has consequences attached to it. Every time we grow, there's a consequence that we must face. Looking back in my own life and the growth and the things that I have went through, the things that I've experienced, the changes that I have made to my identity, every stage, every level leading me up until this point has had a consequence attached to it. Learning to use my voice and speak out in public means that I had to release the fear of being judged or the opinions of others. For me, being on camera or on social media meant that I had to leave behind my fear of being visible, my fear of being seen. Growing to an audience of this size where we had this many people tuning into episodes and all of this additional pressure of what this stage of growth means that I had to let go of my fear of failure, my fear of doing it wrong, of needing to please everyone. Every stage of growth has had a consequence attached to it that has enabled me to get to where I am, but has been inevitable in regards to the experience itself. And I'm going to guess if you took a look at your life right now in relation to where you are, the growth that you've experienced up until this point, who you are now, you're going to be able to easily pinpoint the consequences to you getting to where you are now. Maybe we're not talking about business and we're not talking about career, but perhaps we're talking about all the other areas of our lives. Maybe there was relationships that we outgrew, friendships. Maybe there were certain habits, certain behaviors, certain ways of being. Maybe you're no longer a bar girl going out and drinking and doing shots every single weekend, but you're prioritizing your sleep, prioritizing your health. Maybe you've changed how you eat, and as a consequence, your grocery bill has went up. There always is going to be a consequence to the level of growth that we are experiencing. There is going to be something that we must sacrifice and let go of from the old life in order to step into our power, to grow, to up level, and to commit to the vision of what we are creating. This is the significance of the crossroads. And if you're maybe not getting the results that you want, hello, like I just said, currently there, learning through it. If you are currently there right now, just like I am, experiencing this in your own life, then you're probably facing crossroads of your own right now. There likely is a foot planted in the past. Hey Reg Babe, have you heard the news? Go Regulate Yourself is coming to you live and in person. That's right, we have the first live podcast event happening in Edmonton, Alberta this September. Join us at the Orange Hub Theater on September 25th with a live audience where we are interviewing 4 incredibly impactful speakers on what it takes to overcome shame, heal the hard stuff that you've been through in your life, and come out on top. Tickets are on sale right now, and until August 9th, you can grab our early bird pricing for a low rate of $54.99. You can get yours by heading to GoRegulateYourself.com and clicking the live event tab at the top of the screen. We cannot wait to see you there, and don't forget to go regulate yourself. And what you need to decide to do from this point moving forward is to pick that foot up, put it in the direction of where you want to go, and fully lean in. Be dedicated and unwavering in terms of the vision that you're creating. And this doesn't mean that it needs to happen fast or overnight or that we lack patience. This is more about the determination, the dedication, that commitment to what it is that we are calling in for ourselves in our lives, the goals that we are going after. Being able to decide for ourselves that we are worthy of what it is that we are creating, that we are worthy of achieving the things that we most desire in our lives. Truly, I think in order to step into our power, we first need to understand who it is that we are. Who it is that we are right now in this moment. And what that comes down to is the value systems that you have. What is most important to you in your life? What do you prioritize? What is it that you want to achieve? In order to step into your power, you have to have the answers to these questions. You have to know who you are and what it is that you want to create. And if you're in a place right now where you don't quite know that, that's okay. The important thing is for you to take a look inside, do some self-reflection, sit in maybe some silence, have some meditation practices, mindfulness practices. As I said, journaling is an incredible tool. And if you can reflect upon this and ask yourself, in what ways am I possibly enabling myself to stay where I am? In what ways am I preventing myself from moving forward? In what ways am I not going after my dreams, my visions? Am I standing at crossroads? What am I deciding between? Why am I not committing? What can I do to commit more deeply to this? 100% fully commit to this. Helping to discover who you are and what you want is such an important piece of what it really means to step into your power. For me, what it means for me, being seen, using my voice, being influential, communicating my true opinions and how I feel about things, and not just saying what everybody else is saying what the media is saying. I don't want to pick the easy conversation, the best side. I don't want to lean into the perspectives that everybody else has. I want to share my perspectives, the things that are true to me. I want to be able to use the power that I have for good, for a reason, for a purpose. That is what it means for me to step into my power, to commit to the vision. So for you in your own life, and how we decide this is understanding who you are and what it is that you want to create in your life. And discovering and asking yourself, am I facing a block right now? Am I at fucking crossroads? Do I have 2 feet planted in opposite directions where I am not making a decision, not doing the things that I said I was going to do, breaking promises to myself, breaking the trust with myself because I'm not actually committing to what it is that I want? You have to commit. You have to take full responsibility for your life. You have to actually physically pick that foot up, plan it in the direction of where you want to go, and you have to start walking. It doesn't matter how slow or how small of steps that you are taking, but you have to start walking in that direction. You have to take full responsibility for your life and recognize that the actions that you are taking today, the steps that you are taking today, are what create your future moving forward. Isn't it wild that we think about time travel, and how if we were to go back in the past, the smallest, most minuscule change could radically alter the future and change where we are right now in our lives. But we never actually consider the fact that a moment right now, today, the most minuscule change that we could make could radically alter our future from this point moving forward. Isn't that wild to think about? The fact that we don't ever consider how important the actions and the steps that we are taking today could be for our future. What you are doing right now in this moment quite literally creates your future. How you step into and embody your power, commit to your vision, do the damn thing, is what ultimately creates that result for you. It's what makes that result inevitable for you in your life. We have to stop letting fear run the show. Stop letting judgment or rejection or opinions of others dictate your choices and how you show up. We have to stop blaming past events, parents, partners, situations for where we currently are right now in our lives. We have to take that responsibility back. Recognize that our commitment to the dream is what creates the results. Nobody else is going to do it for us. Nobody's going to show up here and magically check that box, commit us to our vision, do everything for us. Nobody is going to do that. The only person that can actually achieve that vision for you is you. So how you need to progress forward and how you need to step into your power is by asking yourself one simple question. What is preventing me from moving forward, or what is keeping me stuck in the past? Ask yourself, what is keeping me from moving forward, or what is keeping me stuck in the past? And I promise that if you're able to explore this question in depth, you actually spend the time, right? You actually do the damn activity. Don't just run through this in your head, because as it goes for most of us, the action is where the progress happens. If you skip the action, you don't do the activity, you're very unlikely to see a change. We have to do the homework. We have to do the work, you guys. So answering this question about what is preventing you from moving forward or what is keeping you stuck in the past, actually writing that down and exploring that on paper, reflecting within yourself, is very likely going to give you the exact answer that you need to understand how you can step into your power today. Because stepping into your power involves so many pieces. Knowing who you are, knowing what direction you want to go, taking the action, committing to the vision, doing the things. But it's also about trusting yourself, keeping promises to yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, trusting your decision-making process, putting in boundaries, saying no to the things that aren't in alignment or that are draining your energy, blocking your calendar out from all the unnecessary noise, taking care of yourself, putting yourself at the center of your life. All of these things are what stepping into your power truly means. But if we filter all of that down to the very first step that we have to make, it is us finally committing to the direction we're heading. No more excuses, no more bullshit, no more making shit up. Oh, I'm tired this week. I can't do it. I didn't sleep very well. Somebody said no to me after that one email that I sent, so I might as well just throw in the towel. Might as well give up now. There's no point. It's taking too long. I'm getting all these life challenges, so clearly, the universe isn't on my side. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. My back's a little sore. There's a lot of excuses that we can use, you guys. So many fucking excuses that we can use in relation to us just standing here, holding on to what was and holding on to what we'd like. But it's like a game of fucking tug of war. We're standing in the middle, we're getting pulled to either direction, but we're never moving from that center point. We're always stuck right here, never making progress, never getting the results that we desire, repeating patterns, repeating behaviors. That is what it means to be stuck at crossroads. And stepping into your power means you pick that motherfucking foot up and you put it in the direction that you want to go. You decide to release it, you decide to let go, and you decide to commit. The past is no more. Decide. You have that choice right now. Decide the past is no more. I will not continue to do this. I will not continue to pour my energy in that direction. I will not continue to stand at this fucking crossroad and consider that as an option. It is no longer an option. I'm committing to this vision moving forward, and I'm going to step into my power by doing the very first thing, which is deciding, moving, making a choice. And once you do that, again, it doesn't matter if you're going slow. It doesn't matter if your steps are baby size. The point is that you are moving in that direction. And all of the other things that we listed about intuition and not breaking promises to yourself and saying no, all of this stuff starts to happen. It filters in. The growth occurs. And even though the consequences might be present, these things that feel really scary and really big, and sometimes, quite honestly, fucking suck, even though those are going to be present, you're going to be seeing positive changes for yourself in your life. And it's going to make stepping into your power that much easier. Because first of all, you're just recognizing that growth equals consequences. And if I want to grow, I have to let go. So it makes it a little bit more easy to let go of those things when you are growing and moving and expanding in a direction that you want to go. But this is how we truly step into our power. It's to decide. It's to pick that foot up, to set it down, and to walk in that direction. You have to ask yourself, am I ready to be powerful? Am I ready to be influential? Am I ready to ignite change, influence change, ripple change out into the world? Because it doesn't matter what your goal is and what area of your life it is that you're working on, health, relationships, finances, career, business, any area that you are working on in your life right now, you growing, you getting to grander heights, expanding yourself, achieving those goals, whatever that is, it is going to create a ripple effect. It is going to create some influential movement within your reality, within the people in your life. New opportunities are going to come through. Incredible things and blessings are going to happen because of the growth that you're experiencing. And all of that makes the consequences totally worth it. So although stepping into your power can have some fear and some problems, quote unquote problems, not necessarily problems, but you know what I mean, associated with it, there is so much more goodness awaiting you by you making this choice for yourself. So that, my friends, is what it means to step into your power, is what resonated so friggin' deeply with me this past weekend and really shook me to my core in a way that is changing how I show up, is changing how I do things, is changing how I think about things. And I'm really fucking excited to see what happens because of that. What happens with this event, what happens with this podcast, with my writing, and everything else moving forward. And I can't wait to see what happens for you in your life as you move away from that fucking crossroad, you point yourself in that direction, and you commit to your vision. I know it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be wild. And I would love for you to keep me in the loop and let me know what it is that you are achieving in your life as a result. I am sending you so much love. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next episode. Remember to go regulate yourself. Mwah. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Go Regulate Yourself podcast. If you felt called out in the best way, I would be so honored if you drop below and leave a review or share this with a friend who needs to hear it too. And remember, regulate yourself before you wreck yourself. I'll catch you in the next episode. Mwah.